Good morning. Welcome to the Windsor Star News Cafe. I'm Don McArthur here with Dale and Kristy and our special guest from Ward 9, Janette Calandra.
Good morning.
Excellent. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Okay, Ward 9, Silver City, jail. What are the issues you're hearing when you're going door to door out there right now?
There are quite a bit of issues. A lot of them are very common among different neighborhoods. We've got definitely issues of pedestrian crossings. We're also dealing with traffic. Because there's so much traffic at intersections such as Cabana, Howard, and Dougal, a lot of people are cutting through subdivisions and trying to get to their destination and trying to avoid some traffic. So definitely we're hearing a lot of traffic issues. We've also got sewer upgrades. We've got Parkwood and Woodlawn that are dealing with flooding on the roads and in their basements. So those are some common ones. We've also got large developments, the commercial development in the Walker Road area, as well as the Walker Gate area. So we've got a lot of new money that's come into the ward, which is fantastic. It's all new revenue over the last 10 years. Problem is we haven't upgraded a lot of infrastructure to support all the new traffic and, you know, people coming in and out of the area.
Yeah, well,
So
I guess
we're
Ward 9 is often described as a ward that people usually pass through on their way to other places. It's a huge ward. It's the city's biggest.
It's very large.
What are some of the challenges that you found, even just campaigning, going door to door? How is Ward 9, I guess, unique to other wards just because of its sheer size?
Yes, absolutely. Well, it takes a whole lot longer to walk.
Yeah, I imagine so.
We've got some and a lot of people do like the ward because of that. A lot of the areas feel like a county, whereas you're just a few minutes away from the actual city. But it's a lot of work. I've been to the door with my introduction piece, and it has been challenging in the sense that if you're in a downtown area, let's say you can do a few blocks in 15 minutes. Well, I timed myself and I had 20 minutes. I did 7 houses. It's just to get from one house, and of course you can't drive to every single driveway. So in that regards, it is a large area. There's a lot of homes, but I've been in the ward for 35 years and I have no intentions of leaving the area.
Okay, note to self, no trick-or-treating in Ward 9. Okay, you have 20 years experience as a realtor.
I do.
This is your first time running for City Council, but you're no stranger to City Hall, the Multi-Residential Committee?
That's right, yep. I sat on the Housing Advisory Committee for 6 years. I chaired the committee for the Multi-Residential Taxpayers for 2 years. I've also sat on the Town and Gown Committee, which looked at different issues related to tenants and to housing. So my background is very heavy in housing. It's always been a passion of mine. It's somewhere where I have a lot of expertise, and I love to bring those experiences and what I can offer to the city.
Okay, the incumbent in Ward 9 is Hillary Payne. What do you think of he's running again, and what do you think of sort of the representation he's given? Why is it time for a change?
I think Hillary's done a wonderful job. I've got what I can tell you. I'm definitely not going to have anything negative to say because I don't think I'm not into. I don't want to get into a negative campaign. However, what I'd like everybody to do in my ward is to look at each candidate individually and it's important that we just seek out the best candidate and make sure we vote them in for energy, ideas, commitment, experience, and what they can do in the next 4 years.
Okay. You're the only female running in Ward 9?
That's correct.
Okay. And there's a dearth of sort of females running for office. So why is it important, do you think, to get a female voice on council and try to balance this out?
For sure. One of the biggest things is I'm not looking for anybody to vote me in because simply I'm a female. It is a gender issue, but that's not why we should pick our next representative. In my opinion, we've got 50% of our voters are women. As women, we think differently, we view the world differently, we problem solve differently, and I think it's important that we have somebody who's intelligent and that can articulate some of the issues that maybe our counterparts are not dealing with and are not able to, maybe just not seeing things the way we do.
Okay. You sort of talked about a lot of bread and butter issues like right in Ward 9. So, sort of in the bigger picture, where do you sort of stand on like openness at City Hall or say, should we have an auditor general? that kind of thing.
Yep, I think it's very important that the citizens, I mean, it is our money. This is, the city has to, in my opinion, we need to know what's happening. And more people will get involved if they feel, this is my opinion, more people will get involved if they feel that it's open and transparent. They need to feel that their money is being utilized properly, and they need to feel that the decisions are being made on their behalf, as opposed to possibly specific reasons, to satisfy a smaller group of individuals. I think it's very important that, and this is what I'm hearing at the door, people don't necessarily want to know the day-to-day happenings of the city, but when there's a large aspect that's happening that they're debating, they want to know that they've been sought out, that they've been given the opportunity, if they choose to speak, that someone is going to listen. And so my opinion is that I'd love to see open transparency. I've never been a person to have, I sold real estate for 20 years. You've got a client base, and that's what I think that City Hall should be treating as citizens as. They're their clients. They've got every right to know what's going on, and they should definitely be involved. It's like writing a contract and not giving everybody the specifics as to what the contract is. And that, I think, is why we've lost a lot of faith in the public system.
Now, should you be elected to Councillor Ward 9, do you have plans how you will be transparent, either through social media, through your website, how you vote on certain issues at City Hall? How do you see the councillor's role and how they should be transparent?
Yeah, well, recently the Municipal Act has made a change where you have to have 2 public meetings within your ward. You have to send out a notice so that people are aware. I don't necessarily know if that's going to work, although I think that's a great initiative. What I'd like to see is we've got certain pockets of homes and subdivision. It'd be great to have sort of a small little community, those that do want to get involved, because let's face it, not everybody wants to know what's happening. Not everybody has the time or the ability, to read up and, understand what's happening. So it'd be nice in each pocket to have a few representatives that are willing to be part of a larger group, that when something does come up, as a meeting like you would with any other committee, that they're actually willing to meet in an informal meeting. It doesn't have to be minutes of the meeting. It doesn't have to be, terribly formal, where they can come in, bring the points that they feel are important and what they'd like people to hear, or what they've heard from maybe their neighbors and what they'd like to bring to the table. And at that point, it is a lot of work, let's face it. Consider this a part-time job, but to do it properly, it is a full-time job. And it has to be something that the councillor is very engaged with their candidate, or with the residents. So yes, social media is definitely an option. I do have my presence in social media. I'm very opinionated, but at the same time, I'm also very willing to listen to what others say, and I like to have intelligent conversations with residents.
Okay. Janette Calandra, she's running in Ward 9. Thank you very much for joining us here today in the Windsor Star News Cafe.
Thank you for having me.